If you guys are just, if the camera is a bit of a problem, I think it's kind of disoriented in terms of the angle, I guess. Not like a Dutch angle, like they overused in Back to the Earth from what I've heard. I never saw the movie, and I think it's better I stay away from it. But guys, I want to talk about a movie that I saw back in March, and I was very disappointed. Chappie. You guys may know about this movie. You may know it's the third film from Neill Blomkamp, the guy who broke out in 2009 with his masterpiece, District 9, and I love that movie. It was one of my favorite movies of the 2000s, like sci-fi genre. It was a very thought-provoking, and it really made us wonder: are we racist? And are we not too far away from the past and all the racism that has occurred in the history of the world, such as apartheid, the civil rights movement, and also the fact is, and like any other sort of and even like today's conflicts involving like some countries that have religious governments. You get the point. This is a movie that really made you think about, it had themes of social segregation, xenophobia, invasion, possibility of invasion, I guess. I think the main themes of this movie were really just, social segregation and xenophobia. Also racism. This movie dealt with a lot of dark, very, very tense themes, but they communicated them so well. Neill Blomkamp did such a great job just communicating this message to the audience without pounding us over the head with it and exploring it with such great depth. And it also works thanks to a fantastic script from him and his wife Terry Tatchell, I believe. I don't know if I pronounced her last name right, but comment below if you know how to pronounce it. And it also had some fantastic special effects, and it was $30 million to cost. Seriously, I've seen more expensive movies with bigger budgets that have worse effects, such as Last Airbender, After Earth, and there's a couple of others, but that's one of my favorite examples because, my God, those effects were terrible. And the movie also had some good performances, especially from Charlotte Copley, who gave such a heartbreaking performance as Vickis Vendemer. Odd name, but South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa. We've all seen some odd names in our lives. We've all heard weird names. But I'm not taking that as offense. I'm just saying it's kind of a weird name, in my opinion. If you take offense to that, I apologize. This was his third movie. I never saw Elysium, but I heard that was okay. Not really up to par with District 9. Actually, like subpar compared to it. And when I heard about his third movie, Chappie, I was really excited because I like this guy. He really delivered some great action sequences in District 9. It had a thought-provoking storyline, some great effects. And unfortunately, the third one disappointed me. Chappie was such a disappointment from this guy. Because he really surprised all of us with District 9. It was such a very thought-provoking storyline. Sorry, I can feel it in my head. It's just the freaking, just like the viewfinder of the goddamn camera looks disoriented. The angle looks so disorientated. Or just like my shoulders are out of place. Maybe it's from how I lay down, I guess. I don't know. I'm distracting myself. Chappie is set. District 9 really surprised me. I thought it was a masterpiece. Chappie is set in the... Chappie's once again directed by Blomkamp and written by Blomkamp and Terry Tatchell. And this movie is set in a near future in South Africa where these police droids that are powered by artificial intelligence, well, I guess they are, that are programmed to take down all the crime. This has since lowered the crime rate in South Africa, in Johannesburg, I believe, is a more safer place than it ever was before. But there's still a lot of crime, and there's like heavy organized crime. And this droid is destroyed. It's blown up with a rocket. And the designer of these droids, Dev Patel, I don't know the character's name. What do I remember from this movie if I was so disappointed? He takes the destroyed robot, takes the damaged robot, repairs it, and programs it. But this programs with this new artificial intelligence code that allows him to kind of act like a little like a kid, like be programmed like a child, and grow and develop as time goes on, with his, introduced to his surroundings and people he interacts with. The problem is Dev Patel is captured by these two gangsters who are played by these South African rap group, which consists of Ninja Nyolandi and and it's actually the name of their characters in the film. Talk about product placement. Also, their songs play in the background sometimes. So yeah, you get the point. And unfortunately, once they get a hold of Chappie, they train him to become a criminal. And that was the downside point. That was the major turning point to where this movie was never going to return, to a point where it just disappointed me. The fact that I was so disappointed that Neill Blomkamp made this movie. It was so disappointing. Chappie was a movie that I didn't really want to see because of the bad reception. But unfortunately, this was a movie that I decided to see with my friend because this would be our last movie to see. We were only going to have one more movie to see before spring break, which was an entire week. So we decided to see this. He liked it, but I didn't. He probably didn't care about the story or the action. He probably cared about the action because he's like action. I don't think he's really much into the plot. But I feel like there has to be something that makes a movie good. Sometimes they can have no plot and it can be good. That's because they do the best of it. You know, make the best of the thin material or the lack of story material. And unfortunately, this movie just didn't do it for me. I found it incredibly disappointing. The story, you know, the trailers were making it suggest that it was going to be Chappie growing and developing almost like a real human being, but in robotic form. But this is really about Chappie becoming a criminal and helping these criminals commit a heist with them. It's ridiculous. And also, there's another side of the story. Like Hugh Jackman plays this scientist who is not really with artificial intelligence. He actually thinks of it as a danger because it's unpredictable. Because he finds it unpredictable, and he doesn't know if it could be bad. He thinks it can go down a negative path, affect humanity in a negative way. And unfortunately, he tries to do this robot that looks exactly like the Ed 209 from the original RoboCop, a classic. Seriously, and all done with camouflage paint job. It looks like it was just a camouflage paint job. And rockets to help it hover, I guess. Yeah. It's not much of an improvement. Because it's still big and slow as fuck. Also, it can't go down the stairs. Well, it's kind of obvious because, you know, in the original RoboCop, the thing could not go down the stairs. Yeah, that's not the point. He's not much of a danger to this movie. He's kind of almost a character that's just there sometimes. It's just disappointing to know the fact that even though he has some moments, he's overall not a huge part of the story. Same goes to Dev Patel. It's really just Chappie becoming a criminal and being trained by Ninja and Yolandi. But these characters Ninja and Yolandi are so unlikable. Yolandi is a little bit more sympathetic, and I can't really feel for her because she's a fucking criminal and she's with Ninja, who is a fucking idiot. He's a dick. He also just doesn't understand what is going on with Chappie. Like, he thinks, like, he just gets pissed off whenever Chappie does something wrong. Also, when he isn't acting like a criminal, you know, doesn't have all these throwing stars, plays with dolls, you know, watch cartoons and that shit. He's just a guy who's so over-explosive, so over the top, that I found it ridiculous. Almost borderline cartoonish. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Also, the story, there was no real social commentary to it. It kind of does this in this documentary style that Blomkamp did with District 9. But the problem was, it doesn't really work. And I'll also mention the fact that Ninja and Yolandi are just bad in the movie. It's kind of usual when you have musicians in a movie. Like, if you capture all these people who are involved with music, they usually suck. There are some that do work, but I think most of them, when we see in movies, like all these other like music icons and shit, they're just bad because they're under the wrong direction, and they also probably didn't pass acting classes. And it shows. The movie is just very hard to sit through. I found that the storyline became less and less engaging as it went on. I found myself bored sometimes. I also was so mad when it ended. Seriously, I mean, like, I wanted Ninja to die. Yolandi, I didn't really care. I mean, I didn't care if she lived or died, because at least she was being nicer, so at least she had some kind of purpose to still be alive. The visual effects, though, were good. They're actually really good. They're some of the best I've seen recently. And the action sequences are pretty solid. I mean, they're not fantastic. There's not a lot of action in it, but still, it's pretty good for what it is. And I have to admit that Blomkamp does make a movie that doesn't have shaky cam in it. Fuck shaky cam. That thing's a pain in the ass. We're looking at you, Olivia Megaton, for what you did to Taken 2 and 3. Now, I never saw those, but I knew about the fucking shaky cam and all the rapid cuts. What the fuck? I even saw a scene with rapid cuts. So many. Why is there so many? It's ridiculous. Let me get straight to this. This movie just didn't work for me. The storyline came out engaging. Also, I found myself getting kind of bored a bit. But if there's one saving grace, it is Chappie. The character is unexperienced, and he's facing these things, and you don't know. He's reacting, and he doesn't understand a lot. But the movie, Charlton Copley plays Chappie. He also does motion capture for him. He's just a regional collaborator with Neill Blomkamp. He's probably gonna do it again. Maybe it's in the Alien movie. Maybe it's a Xenomorph. Hopefully that movie will be good because Blomkamp's writing and directing it, and this could probably get him back some credibility. If he fucks this up, I'm done with him. Well, unless he makes another good movie. I don't want him to become Shyamalan. Fuck this guy. Fuck Shyamalan. Now, of course, guys, I want to understand. Charlton Copley does offer up real emotion. Sometimes he's funny, and you do feel for him as a character because he's going through these situations that you never want to be put through, and something you would never even imagine being put through. So he's a person that's just being so endangered. He's in danger. I mean, like, he's facing threats. I mean, he's getting hurt by his captors. It's just hard. This movie I'm trying to give like a 2.5 out of 5 because there are so many problems with the story, the overall conclusion, and mostly just Ninja and Nuandi, who I found so unlikable, and I wanted them to go away. Ninja, I just wanted to be run over and left for dead. Probably just run over, like all his brains splattered all over the ground, or blown up, or maybe so many combinations of so many ways to die in that movie, or just at all that I found plausible, and of course, well timed, that I liked. It also additions, this movie adds ridiculous concepts. They don't sound too bad, but on paper, but when it comes to the film and the already lame, lackluster script, it just doesn't work. I don't really recommend. If you're a fan of Blomkamp and you just want to Blomkamp, don't see this. If you don't care and you just want to have a good time with the movies, you might be entertained. But I am not too. I wouldn't find that really believable. There are some funny parts in this movie. There actually are some pretty funny moments. But like I said, that's not enough to save this movie. So guys, if you want any more videos, subscribe to my channel, comment below, tell me what you thought of Chappie, what do you think about Neill Blomkamp at this point, are you excited for his new Alien movie, are you afraid of it, are you skeptical, and also, what are your thoughts on visual effects in the movie today? That's just one thing I want to comment about because, my God, I've seen some bad visual effects in movies. What are your thoughts on science fiction? And what are you guys excited for? Are you like for Age of Ultron? Because I'm seeing that tonight. Yeah. Well, probably by the time this video is posted, I might have already seen it. And I'll probably give a review about it. Yeah. On opening day, I'm seeing it. I hope you guys... I wish you guys a good day, and if you've seen Age of Ultron, tell me what you thought about it.